Guys, there have been new leaks and data mine cards, and these things are incredible. If you guys watched my last video, we talked about Iron Lad and the High Evolutionary and all the brainstorming that we did on those, but we've actually figured out what those cards are going to do, and it's insane. Let's get into it. So the High Evolutionary is going to be a 4/7, and it says that at the start of the game, it unlocks the abilities of cards that have no abilities. So the majority of things that are in Patriot decks actually have hidden abilities that none of us knew about, and the High Evolutionary unlocks those. Now, it doesn't look like it applies to the squirrels within Squirrel Girl or Brood or things like that, but there are a bunch of cards that have been data mined at this point that have these secret abilities. Those cards are Wasp, Misty Knight, Shocker, Cyclops, The Thing, Abomination, and Hulk. But let's look at what all of these abilities are. So if you have High Evolutionary in your deck, obviously it is that 4/7 power. That's not a bad stat line at all to be able to play on the board. But you also have access to these other cards. So the Wasp says, on reveal, afflict 2 random enemy cards here with -1 power. Okay, so obviously lots of different things that you can do with that. You could throw that against an Iron Man or anything like that on a location. If you're going up against a Cerebro deck and you play Wasp, it will absolutely destroy that Cerebro deck because a couple of those cards will no longer be able to be buffed. Next, we've got Misty Knight. It says, when you end a turn with unspent energy, give another friendly card +1 power. That is incredible. Like if you play Misty Knight turn 1 and Sunspot turn 2, Sunspot will go up to a 3 because it'll get a buff from Misty Knight and it will also get that unspent energy. I think we'll be seeing a lot more Infinite and She-Hulk stuff, which I think is always super cool. So Misty Knight is crazy. Like you're going to be able to add so much power on the board. It's going to be insane. Now, here's the thing. I don't believe that these will still work with Patriot because they now have abilities. So they have unlocked them, so they will not work with Patriot. Next, we've got Shocker. On reveal, give the leftmost card in your hand -1 cost. That's incredible. So if you played that on turn 2 and the High Evolutionary was in your hand on the left, it would now be a 3/7, which is nutty. That's friggin' wild. Like, that's so sick. That's such a sick stat line. And just the ability to play on curve a little bit better. Obviously, it would have to be on the left, but that's still going to help you be able to play some other cards. Cyclops. Everybody's been talking about Cyclops and how they hate Cyclops and they want it to be so much better. Well, guess what? With the High Evolutionary, Cyclops will be better. When you end a turn with unspent energy, afflict 2 random enemies here with -1 power. That is insane. That is going to be so much damage over turn 4 and turn 5. 2 random cards -2 power for those 2 turns is 4 power over 2 turns. So really, Cyclops is now a 3/8. That's disgusting. That's so dope. Next, we've got The Thing. It says, on reveal, afflict a random enemy card here with -1 power. Repeat this twice more. So what that means is that it could afflict the same thing with -1 power 3 times. They're not doing, all the other ones so far have been 2 random cards. This one, not the same. It's going to do it and then reset the action, do it, reset the action, and do it. So that's now a 4/9 equivalent on that location. Incredible. So sick. Abomination. Costs 1 less for each enemy card in play that's affected with negative power. What the heck? This deck is going to be so sick. High Evolutionary is going to be insane, dude. Now, I do think a lot of people are probably going to be playing Luke Cage to help prevent the loss of this power because that's going to be massive. And really, Luke Cage is going to be a counter to this deck. So if you guys are worried about that, obviously you have Cosmo as a counter to a bunch of these things. You've got Killmonger to take out Misty Knight. I really think that Luke Cage is going to be massive against this because if you have Luke Cage down, then Abomination won't be able to do the thing that it said, which costs 1 less for each enemy card in play that's affected by negative power. So you play that Luke Cage down, you're safe. And then the Hulk, ongoing, +2 power for each turn you ended with unspent energy. Are you freaking kidding me, dude? If you get Sunspot down turn 1 and you don't play on curve, meaning turn 2 you don't play a 2 cost, turn 3 you don't play a 3, etc., and you have unspent energy, for each turn you ended with unspent energy. So you could potentially add 10 power to the Hulk because you have turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. No, 8, 20. So the Hulk could then be the next Infinite. Whoa. That's crazy, dude. Holy cow. I am all about it. I think the High Evolutionary is going to be wild. Next, we have Iron Lad, which we talked about. It is a 4/6. It says, on reveal, copy the text of your deck's top card. So that's interesting, because depending on what you have in your deck and whether or not you're tracking, if you play lots of on reveal things, like let's say Ironheart, or I don't know, Ironheart, Wolf's Bane, anything like that, you play Iron Lad with those positive on reveal cards in your deck, that's pretty nasty. Or like Iron Man, what the freak? Imagine if Iron Lad tags Iron Man. It'd be a 4/12. Dude, so sick. Let's go. That one's awesome. I'm not sure if I've talked to you guys about Jeff the Shark yet, but I'm amped on Jeff the Shark. 2/3, you can move this once. Nothing can stop you from moving or playing this to any location. So this is a counter to just a basic Professor X on a lane. So if someone just Professor X's with like Daredevil and they hit that lane, if you have Jeff the Shark down previous to that, you're going to be able to move it. I don't believe you can play it and move it on the same turn. It has to be down. So Jeff the Shark is 100% going to be in my move decks. I'm amped on this one. I think it's going to be a super cool little card that allows you to access locations and things like that just for free. So that's sick. That's super, super sick. And then Howard the Duck we talked about last time. Ongoing, tap this to see the top card of your deck. So Howard the Duck will work really well with Iron Lad. You play Howard the Duck, you have it down, you can do it as much as you want to. As long as he is on the board, you can tap and see what the next card coming is, so then you can play Iron Lad and get it buff. That's another sick little combo. Howard the Duck, Iron Lad combination, absolutely ridiculous. That's going to be wild. That's going to be super cool. And I also don't know if I talked to you guys about Red Guardian or not. It's a 3/6, but it says you must play a card here next turn. I don't think that's a bad on reveal ability. Like that 3/6 stat line, and you just play it on a location where you know you want to combo things. And I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a really, really good card that can just fit into so many different decks, and it's going to be a really, really good, like, kind of new Maximus, if you will, to where you could play Red Guardian in the middle, and then you could play it in a Surfer deck, like so many different options. And it doesn't say you have to play all of your cards here next turn. So you could play a 3 cost and a 1. You could play a 1 cost there and then something on another location. So I think that's pretty dope as well. Y'all, I'm amped on the future of the game. I'm amped on the new cards that they're coming out with. I believe that they're going to continue making cards a little bit more obtainable for people, because I know a lot of people are annoyed at that. Obviously, they can't give everybody cards. It just that isn't how games like this work. Everybody can't have access to all of the cards. Do I think it'd be cool if there was a game mode where you could test things out, or a draft mode where you could potentially draft some of these cool cards that you've never played with? Yes, we need a draft mode immediately. But I think that the future of the game is looking bright in regards to content. I think the only place that it's struggling and that we need some work is balances and why they balance things. Because I think a lot of the balances that are being done are based off of information that actually isn't super effective. We see that with the Red Skull buff, honestly. Like, I feel like absolutely nothing happened to Shuri Red Skull decks and things like that. So, yeah, y'all, let me know how you feel about these cards. I'm stoked on them. Also, why don't you comment down below if you're still watching some of your ideas for cards, because I think that'd be pretty cool. But thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. See you on the next one. Peace out.